What is going on, YouTube fam? Welcome back again. Hello, dog. It is 10 o'clock at night. I don't know what I'm going to do about this green screen ordeal for the rest of my life. I have no idea. But today we were going to be playing some more of The Letter. If you watched last episode, I left you guys on a cliffhanger. And actually, you know what? Let me turn off the lights for this. This will be interesting. How spooky does this look? Should I? Hold on. Let me turn up the brightness on one of these computers here. As the camera's trying to get me back into focus, I'm going to slightly move that out of the way. Oops. That wasn't what I wanted. Nope. We going the wrong way, kids. Anyways, if you watched the last episode, I got fucking spooked quite a bit. Oh my god, dude. Can you just, for once... Okay. Exit that. It's like trying to pick me up, but it can't. Well, I might have to... Can you pick me up now, camera? It can't. Sad day. It's just like, no, I can't do anything for you. Okay, well, that was unfortunate. I wanted to play this in spooky mode, but I can't. Oh, there we go. Stay there, camera. Okay, we will jump right back into the game. Let's go. Thank God, no scare this time. Okay, so, yeah, we almost got killed by the lady, and we fell down the stairs. See what happens. Might have to have another QuickTime event happen here. My head grows fuzzy and my vision dims as I fight to stay conscious. Oh, we passed out. You can't see me because it's dark on the rest of my screens. Oh my god, it's like an anime. Spooky. Yang Mobile. You can't see me. A buzz breaks the silence. You still can't see me. You just see the... Oh, I gotta auto this again? Come on. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired in my life. I just want to sleep, but this insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest place, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away what is nudging me persistently and whatever. Come on. Can't it just be an extra few minutes sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling. Oh, I got knocked. That's right, I got knocked unconscious. My friends are here. Hey, you can see me again. What's up, guys? The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment they're looking at me. It's Rose. They're looking down at me. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying, at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed. The light ache in the head indicates anything.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
This time I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? But with how primely dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression before finally fixing it. I can't help but fold my eyes protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like her supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you alright?
No, I'm awful. Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews.
No, you fucking
The
idiot.
boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to the troublesome clients, or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders gently, squeezing it, and with as much patience she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
Bitch,
No,
nobody
I'm
wants to steal
fine.
from that house.
I'm okay,
This
Rose.
house hounded.
I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is
Besides,
nothing.
if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's always the part where I may lose the bonus BRC promise, but that's completely besides the point. Doesn't matter if you're dead. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bit my lower lip in anticipation if she says no. A smile threatens to slip out from me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't
Man.
downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Listen, I have a questions for the audience out there that's not watching. How much money, like let's say you're this salesperson, right? How much money are you willing to take to try and sell a home with things in it that are trying to murder you? Like, what's your price? Like, will you do it for $5 just for the lulz, or like 100,000, a million? 10 million? Like, what's your price? Like, realistically. Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. ... Well, she is. But not in a scary, negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
Sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Mechanic. Listen, you know, I hate it when people like or stuff like that. Just say excuse me, or just say something. Just say something. I've had people at work, they're just like and I'm just like, yeah, and they're like, can you help me with this? Just say excuse me. That's all you need to do. You don't have to be like you don't need to sit there and sigh or be like just say, excuse me. Hello. Fucking idiots. Oh, her card. Guys, get that X-Mail right there. You can't see my cursor. Get that X-Mail. Interior designer, huh? Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her, though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine whatever. I suppose some people find the trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place could also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic
Miss McCullough,
historical charm.
I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blur out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah Wright?
I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but
Somebody bought it? She pauses, possibly trying to figure the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. We'll check with her supervisor, or I don't know. Probably should check with the supervisor, because if someone's already purchased the house, why are we here? Right? Like, what is the point of all of this then? Aren't we like the salespeople here? Aren't we trying to get this shit in order so then clients can come look at it? What's the point? So I'll say we'll check with the supervisors. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it. Oh, god damn it. Gotta hit the auto again. Keep forgetting.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. Oh, I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I finish. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary.
Spooky
Thank you
stuff.
for your assistance, Miss Santos.
Of course. If I just said I don't know, I'd be like, whatever. With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. It's a good choice, kids. Good choice. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gave me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxembourg office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. Listen, that's great and all, but less than 20 minutes ago, we almost got fucking murdered to death in this house. Like, up that staircase, to the right, like 10 feet, and then down, and then right into the attic door right there. What's going through your mind? Let's look at this relationship stuff, shall we? Oh my god, we just have no relationship whatsoever with Isabella. Oh my god. Everybody else has one. Isabella, not so much. I'm sure we'll probably get these people killed, so then the relationships will look pretty bad. I will be very frustrated if for some reason something had already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns looking a little frustrated but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for having to go through all this trouble. She looks embarrassed.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's doors. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. Yeah, no shit. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. It's just the house working its magic, man. Was it just paranoia? Temporary lapse after having heard of all those tales about the house? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ, and if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose had just handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose had asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. What the fuck is this, man? Okay. Whew. A flock of people. Oh, okay. People arrive. I'm not sure whether I should feel bad. Okay, men and women of wealth and all status, all dressed to the nines, fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers all adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even with ridiculously fancy feather hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wondered to me. There are mostly old ladies who daunted at the idea of those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins the group. As she approaches the group, it really catches the eye.
So nice to finally meet you. When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you.
Sorry guys, I was dimming this down a
Confidence
little
in my
bit.
skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know
There's
each
no
other?
happy medium
Not at
with
all,
this,
ma'am.
is there?
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Marianne? Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or the television. Can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman, in particular, is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though, and if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they're brother and sister if I wasn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. My only sunshine. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so with papers in hand, I lead the way. Oh, this is going to turn out horribly. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration processes went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. I'm careful to mention anything about ghosts wanting to kill me in the attic. It's not good talking material.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking
Okay, I'm gonna
restoration
stop
process
changing-
just to return its original beauty.
Changing
Even the
this.
glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope. Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere. She don't give a shit.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
Perfect, just buy the house already. The rest of their conversations gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Just buy the house so I can leave, please. Oh, please, 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 let these guys be it. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Ah, fuck, dude. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. There's the cellar, I see it. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, how much of the pain in their arse cleaning this whole bee, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
It's to hide the bodies. This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife had shown any form of genuine interest in the place, but this time something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room.
Who the fuck needs 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine?
It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you had one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big
It's
enough?
space you're worried about, sir. The Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's
That's-
plenty of room for it.
That's plenty.
We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! Can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Almost half an hour? Fuck, dude. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey their property, they kept complaining to Rose how big it was. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale? When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. Starts off as small goosebumps on my skin and a feeling being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out into a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. Okay, listen. So in like horror movies and stuff like that, like everybody, like, you know, is that a frog outside? No, that's just whispers. So, like, as I smack the microphone, everybody you know, like, hides in a corner or something when it gets, like, very quiet or they, like, hear stuff. Listen, man, here's what you do. You just bust right the fuck through that door and be the most obnoxious cunt in the world. And if there's a human being or an extraterrestrial spirit on the other side of that, it's gonna be fucking annoyed at you regardless. So you might as well just guns blazing. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, till a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there? Yes, ma'am? Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting. Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job. What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Can we get back on this tour,
Isabella,
please?
actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right? Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plagues me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She's probably like a demon. She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. She knows what's in this house. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she tastes particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than
Ma'am
enough
Hana?
space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with the cat? What's wrong with cats? Fuck off. More importantly, why does she talk about moving in already? Because she knows, dude. She
Well,
fucking
I'm more of a
knows.
dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And
Like-
it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us.
Like
Why,
3-month
I could
anniversary.
even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am.
Bonus.
I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
It's
What
Mr.
would
Gray.
people think,
Mr.
darling?
Ray, yeah.
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCaughlin, who only gives me an apologetic smile and shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is gonna be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
This time what?
Isabella.
Right, right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and...
Just give me my money so I can go. A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
An interesting work of art.
Oh shit, it's the
Not
paper.
to my taste, though.
Help me,
I'm
help me,
sorry.
help me. That's what it is.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with... what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as... dreadful.
as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
That's
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
okay. Well, he is right because it comes in emails. But that's. Hold on. I'm going to put this together right now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fuck. Okay. So remember on the piece of paper from episode 1, it said you need to send this. 5 people need to. Yeah. This 3 right here. You counting? I'm counting. 1, 2, 3. Keep that. It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong, and I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt
Good to
her.
hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Dude, these guys are fucking creepy. Smiles back in her face when she turns to look at me and hands me a strange piece of
I
paper.
would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was
They
saying...
think I'm suicidal or something. I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my
Isabella?
mind.
Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place because I remember everything as clear as day because it just happened like an hour ago. This letter and that woman in the attic.
The letter.
It's real.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I've gone mad? What am I at? 37 minutes? How long was my last one? Let me just look at my docs over here as I just click out of the game. And we'll watch. Hello. 38 minutes. Yeah, we'll do this decision. Should I even tell them? Yeah, as OBS closes down on me, and I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Okay, great. We'll show the letter to Rose. I blurted out before I could think twice about what I'm going to say. No, just show it to Rose, you dumb cunt. Don't fucking say it to everybody. Just hand Rose the paper.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Dude, I don't even want the fucking money. Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in a conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in our group's direction have been given her trademark saleswoman smile. Tight expression is on her face
Isabella,
when she
we've
pulls
already
me
had a
to side.
conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
No. She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand without even taking a glance at it. She folds it back neatly. What the fuck, Rose?
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose could open her mouth for a retort, a hand lays on both our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze with an inscrutable smile spreads across his face.
Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
Pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold whatever. It's impossible to miss the displeased frown of Miss McLaughlin's face. The realization that we might lose the sale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond
I
pissed.
think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not, I've caused trouble and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before.
This place is fucking haunted. Get out now, please. Wrong button.
If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day.
No, I never want to come back.
Look,
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling that one way or another it'll find its way back to me, regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
So, you guys pro-life or pro-choice? Let me know down in the comments.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She claps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really
I
know.
promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fuck no,
Fine.
dude. I don't even want to fucking be here anymore.
I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guest milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this
I
one
won't
for
be able
now.
to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back. Few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying that. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies gathered some ways across from me is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. This conversation. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon hang out will help. That's right, we're hanging out with friends later. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Okay, kids, I will save it right there. Just put that into slot number dos. Ooh, look at that. Look at that right there. We did it. We did it indeed. Alrighty. Hope you all appreciated episode 2. Not really any spookiness this time, just a lot of dialogue. But seriously, I don't even want to sell the house. Like, look at this giant church thing right here. That's probably what's in the cellar, man. Something spooky. I don't even want the money. Maybe I do.